Welcome to the short video, guys, and thank you for tuning in once again. So this is a short video of how I've basically put my camper van together, or my day van, or if as I call it, the fishing bus. So I've put a few clips in the videos here, in the pictures here for you to see, and then I'll talk you through a little bit of how it's been going and what I've done and how I've done it. I hope you enjoy, and thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in, guys. It's much appreciated. Well, guys, the first of the paint is starting to take shape in the van. Nothing exciting yet, but yeah, first of the paint is starting to take shape. It's 9 o'clock at night, and obviously I'm on my drive and I'm painting away. So I'll bring you back when we get a little bit more done, eh? Well, it's just had its first coat of paint on the walls there now. So she's had its first coat. Happy days. Then I'll do all the filling now it's had its first coat before its second coat. I find personally that with painting, this is me, it's easier to see where it needs filling after it's had its first quick lick of paint. So there we are, first lick of paint. Happy days. Well, guys, it's 10 o'clock at night and it's blowing a gale. I'm in the van, so it's shaking, and trying to do a bit of painting. As you can see, I've just done the I don't know if you call it the ceiling or the roof of the van. I've coated the walls that are getting coated anyway, in like a tinty green grey. This is going to be a cupboard up here for storage for clothes, but I'll go through all that when I've done a lot more on the van. So just a little update showing you. Oh, and got the laminate flooring today for the floor. So once all the staging's, all the paint's done, I'll then jump on to doing the floor. But I'll talk through what I've done up to date and stuff when I've got a bit more done and it's broad daylight. I'm basically doing it a couple of hours here and there after work at the moment. So yeah, starting to look funky, Right then, guys, so it's time to put the floor in the van now, which I have over there, which is an oak effect laminate floor. But let me show you a little bit of the van. So as you can see, all the painting's pretty much done. I've got a little bits of touching up to do, but what I've done is I've tried to paint it. I want it to look rustic. I want it to look almost like it's unfinished, if that makes sense. I don't want it to look brand spanking new. I want it to look rustic. I want it to look old. I want it to look cool. But I've also wanted to put a bit of colour in. So I've done above the bed red. Now it's a brave move to go with a bright red like that, but I wanted to add a bit of colour, a bit of spice to it. And then I've gone for that off green white looking for the cupboards and the walls. And then I've gone for the rustic brown country look for the bed and the bed bench even. So yeah, it's getting there. And I've gone for a white, washed white on the ceiling. Again, keeping that unfinished rustic sheepish look. So I'm going to put in the floor now, but what I've just done is I've sealed around the bottom with a mastic. And the reason behind that is if any wet gear is underneath here in what we call in the garage, I'm not going to get no water run through and underneath the nice new floor. So I'm going to fit the floor now, and I'll bring you back once the floor is completely in. Yeah, the floor is now in and taking shape. Don't forget, guys, I'm trying to keep that rustic look to the van, and utilise as much storage as I can. So whilst I was doing the floor, I had this horrible metal hump there. I'm not sure if it was back in the video. Sorry if my voice sounds a bit rusty, but I've been hit by a bit of a bug this last couple of days, so I haven't been quite myself. So yeah, keeping the rustic look and utilising as much storage as possible. I had that horrible bump here where you come from the front cab into the actual back of the van. So I thought, how can I get around that, making it look marry into the floor? So what I've done is I've done my floor, I've built a box in, and behind here, as you can see, and I've got 4 inches deep of storage, which would be handy for kitchen roll or bits like that. Nothing major, but I get a few bits in there. Obviously I cut the bulkhead of the van in half because I wanted to keep the bottom as it was something to work to, and also it stops bits from the back of the van going to the front of the van and vice versa. And then my curtain will fall down behind the back of this. I've got a curtain rail that's going to go along here. I stopped the ceiling where I've stopped it a little bit short of the top front of the cab, so my spare tyre would still fit up there out the way, which you won't see once my curtain's gone in. You won't see that. And again, also got a bit of storage up there for baggage or some food or whatever. Cups, tea and sugar will go in that one up there. Clothes will go in that one up there. So yeah, floor's in. Next job is, well, I've got to paint these beads without getting, or stain them the same colour as the bed without getting it all over the floor. Back doors, I want to board that up now. I'm going to use the same sort of flooring to keep the match of the colour, but I want to board that up for the simple reason, when you open the back doors to get stuff out of the garage space, which I'll show you a little bit later in the video, I don't want the rain, if it's raining or wind and horrible, to come in onto the bunk bed, so, or the bed space if you like. So yeah, just trying to keep it all, so inside the van is actually a camper van, and obviously you got the garage space. I designed it that my fishing gear, which is actually some down there now, my rods will run under the bed and through the garage. But I've also done this little hatch here, so I got some access for extra storage down there next to the rods. Wet boots or whatever, save jumping around the back if you jump straight into the van. But yeah, she's coming along nicely. I've not yet done nothing with this wall. It is plastic lined, but I've not done nothing with it yet, as I do have a plan for it. I've done above here, again a little bit of painting, but not wanting to go too mad because I want to keep that rustic feeling to the van. So yeah, floor's in, looking good. We're getting there. Well guys, the van's close to finished. Come in and have a look. Let me talk you through a few things that I've done. So, started off, I built the overhead cupboard so you can have storage, just like that. Then the back doors are open, so if you're noticing a lot of light, you'll see why in a moment. I've built this shelf, which is plenty of room for teas, sugars, coffees and bits and pieces. Also built some storage down here, bottles of water, etc. I've got a blackout curtain on a pole, and on the side I've velcroed it so that can be opened for window light and easily retained back, just like that. I built the top cupboard set back 12 inches from the front of the bed. Reasoning for that, a little bit of extra seating so you can sit down if needs be. Now let me take you to the back of the van, to the garage. There we go guys, that's the back of the van, the garage as we call it. I was given by the height of the bed, bit of fishing gear down there, please ignore. I was governed by the height of the bed due to if I ever need, well, at some point maybe need to change light bulbs so I can get to the fixings of the light bulbs. Nice and simple on either side. Also there's enough room in there for a couple of seat boxes, push bike, etc. I've left underneath the bench which is inside the van for the rods and long items to go underneath. I'm going to put a couple of hooks up here, but I haven't got any at the moment, just for hanging some clothes at the back of the door, with enough space there for them coats. And then we're back to the side of the van, well, inside the van, and how I've done it. So as you noticed, I've boarded out the back, so if the back doors are open, the rain can't come in. Now, it's very unlikely that I'm going to need access, but if for any instance I need access to the hinges of the door, which I can't see me needing, but if a hinge breaks I need access. So instead of taking it all the way across, what I've done is a couple of screws in here and a couple of fixings. That panel will take off and I can get to the bolts on either side of where the hinges are. Now you might notice this side here a little bit muddy, and well, it's not muddy, it's stained, but it is a plastic cladding. But I have got something to put on there which I haven't yet put on there, but when I do I'll bring it back into the video. And then, as you've seen earlier, obviously the storage space above. I have left a little bit of a gap at the back of the doors, so I can get some storage space from the back there. The idea of that is if I want to keep any lamps or anything that are just on the top there, nice and easy access to get hold of from the back. So there's my camper van, fishing van, day van, ready to go. Well, this is it, finished and ready to go. So the wife Jess will make the bed today, and we're off tonight on our first road trip. Added in stainless steel top, so I can put the stove on there, and then we've got just a couple of sets of drawers with bits and pieces. So yeah, ready to go. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and hope you enjoyed this small video of the fishing van. So until I see you next time, which will be fishing, keep safe, keep fishing, keep chasing them dreams.